Welcome back to Empty Nest Adventure TV.
This time we were sitting in the driveway once again.
Yes.
Of your road trip.
Again.
Not according to plan.
Nope.
We didn't want to be staying there that long, but had a problem with the motorcycle rack. It was bending. And I think in the last video I said over 18 inches. It was about a centimeter. By the time we got back, it was probably 8 centimeters, 4 or 5 inches from dragging on the ground.
Yeah.
Until we got the motorcycle off of it, and that took some weight off of it. So they're going to be working on reworking that.
Right.
We didn't want to sit in the driveway.
We've got the motorcycle. There's Europe Road Trip is storing the motorcycle for us.
Actually, interestingly
Frank's
enough,
got the rack.
Behind Haro's parents,
Harleys.
both his mother and his father have matching Harleys.
Yeah.
So our bike had
Parked
good company
behind
sitting
yes.
there. And Tymeck had mentioned a town that we should go to called Giethoorn, which when we looked up, we already had it on our map.
Yes.
Why we didn't go to our map and look for it and see, but she says she did, but
I put it on there.
But it is billed as the Venice of the Netherlands.
Yes.
So we decided to go ahead and pack up, get ready, and head to Giethoorn.
As we've said in previous videos, in the Netherlands, they have a lot of canals everywhere for the water. Through farm fields, there's little canals every so often. That's because they're below sea level. So that's how they help manage their water, is they've got all these...
It's an engineering marvel, really.
It is. It's fantastic. They've got canals everywhere.
Yep. So we drove up there.
Mm-hmm.
We got up there. We parked in a little lot. We boondocked or dry camped or parked, whatever.
Boondocked.
Interesting how it works, because you can pull into the parking lot, but in order to leave, you have to pay €4 to get the gate to go up.
Is it €2 or 4?
No, it's €4 a night.
Oh, €4 a night.
So we went ahead and did that. We went in the first night. Really didn't know what to do there.
Yeah.
There is a main pathway or kind of boardwalk that has bridges that go back and forth across the canal. So we just kind of walked around to kind of get our bearings and to see what was there and what was going on.
Because we knew we were going to be there another night.
We passed the Mennonite church.
Yes.
We'll hear a little bit about that later. And then we went down to where this main area was, where a lot of the restaurants and shops were. And there was a cheese shop right next to a restaurant that features fondue.
Yes.
And we'll get back to the fondue, trust me. So we bought some cheese. We came back to the camper.
Yep.
Kind of settled in for the night.
Yep.
Realized there was a couple of things that we needed from the grocery store, and there was a Jumbo right there by there.
Oh yeah.
And then that gave us a chance to kind of leave the parking lot and pay for that night, and then come back so we could pay for the next night. So we were honest about how we paid.
Yeah.
We didn't stay 2 nights and not pay for the other night. So we went to the grocery store. We came back. We kept trying to figure out where this place was where you're supposed to get this canal tour, because you could take a canal tour, or you can rent boats.
Yeah.
And if you rent a boat, then you're just kind of driving around on your own. I think they give you a plan to follow, but you don't know what's there, or what
you don't get the
information
tour
was.
guide's lecture on what everything is, or why it's here, or how. You just get to go out on a boat and go around all these canals.
Yeah, because I think they called it the Binnenpad,
Binnenpad,
which was the trail, and they kept saying Binnenpad Center. We had no idea where that was.
We couldn't find it.
So we kind of walked back around and this was day 2, kind of middle of the morning, middle afternoon or so. And there was a restaurant there called Fanfare, and they had canal tours. And sure enough, it was really the one that we were looking for.
Yes.
Same price, same everything.
Yep.
But we had about an hour or so before the tour was going to start, and they had a little restaurant. So we went in there and we had some appetizers. But the cool thing about the place was, up on the ceiling, your thing.
License plates. I've collected license plates from all of my license plates through living up and down the East Coast and in Indiana. I've got all my license plates. And so when we went in there, they had them everywhere. And they had an Indiana one. It was a vintage Indiana.
So they had one like 1973 or something like that. Yeah.
They had them from a bunch of different states and a bunch of different countries. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Somebody like me really enjoyed it.
So I had like that fries appetizer with all the stuff. Oh God, it was good. Oh, it was very good. So so then we got on the canal boat.
Yep.
And because it was the middle of the week, kind of off season, there weren't very many of us on there.
Nope.
There was like a family from Indonesia.
Yeah.
And a family from Israel.
Yep.
And us.
And us.
That were on there.
And they all spoke English. And
Salsa jumped right on the boat, went right under the table, and went to sleep. She hates water.
Yes, she hates water. She won't swim. She doesn't like being in the car. She pants and gets very nervous and just kind of is uncomfortable while we drive in a car, in the motorhome. It doesn't matter. Yep. But the boat, she got right on, went underneath the table, laid down, and fell asleep. Yep. She actually fell asleep.
Yeah, but we did. We lucked out on our tour guide.
Oh, yes.
Because he spoke English. He wasn't a normal, regular tour guide. He was somebody that lived there that I think he does it fill-in basis or something.
He learned English in Scotland.
Yeah.
So he had just a hint of a Scottish accent to his English.
Yeah, a little brogue to it there.
Yeah.
Yep. So he gave us the tour, gave us a lot of little extra information. Because when we went back past the Mennonite church, he told us two of his six kids got married at the church.
Yep.
And I guess they bring the bride and groom up on boats. And then they walk into the church and they get married.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. We actually went past his house.
Yes.
And he showed us his house, his house and where his house was.
He actually has a house that you can drive up to. Some of the other houses on the other side of the canal, you can't drive up to your house.
It's only water.
Yeah.
The water
you
access.
can either take a boat or you can park somewhere else and then come in and walk over, and a lot of them have their own private little bridge across the canal.
Yep.
And so, I mean, you could not drive over on the other side.
Yeah, and there were lots of swans in the lake when we went out to the lake part.
Yes.
And went around in the canal
goes around.
tour.
They had a huge
Yeah,
lake.
just too much information to tell that he gave us that it's not on a regular tour.
Yes.
So we were very happy with that. So we got done with the canal tour.
Yep.
Just a little bit down the Binnenpad trail, or whatever you want to call it, was a crystal store.
Yes.
So
I like rocks and crystals and that kind of stuff. That's one of my things.
So you shopped in there and spent some money. So we were kind of trying to stretch the time between our appetizers before the canal boat and then
dinner.
And then dinner. So we kind of moseyed our way up the trail.
Yep.
Got back to that main part, and next to the cheese shop, the restaurant had a fondue dinner special.
Yes.
Which we love fondue.
We like fondue.
And cheese fondue next to a cheese shop. It was the same business. It was just two different stores. You gotta have it.
Yes.
I mean, there's no way we can't resist. And we added some chicken, like little chicken tenders with it, so we could dip those into the cheese too. So it seemed more like it was a dinner or a meal or something. So,
but it was very filling. We were fine.
Yeah, we were very, very filled up, and we had walked quite a bit up and down the boardwalk, and we still, I think it was like a kilometer or a kilometer and a half or whatever. We had to walk back to get to the camper. So we settled in for that night, and then the next morning we were going to take off and leave, and it was a little colder than it had been that morning than what we were used to. I get up, put the key in the ignition, and turn the key.
Holly won't start.
And Holly groaned to a halt. So here we are, but I don't know, 40 or 50 kilometers away from Harrow's with a dead battery.
Yeah.
So once again, we called the Hall of Justice Europe road trip, because that's where our superhero Tymeck is at. And he was able to call one of the guys that rents boats there that had a little jump pack.
Yep.
And of course, I opened the hood and look, and I'm like, there's no battery under this hood. Where is the battery?
Where is the battery?
But there was a place where you connect up a jumper cable for the positive side and then one for the ground. So they had that. Obviously, they had it set up for you to
So when we got back to Europe road trips, we had more questions for Tymeck.
So we got back, and Tymeck almost immediately went to work for us again.
He is fantastic.
The battery is actually in the cab underneath the floor between the two seats.
Yep.
So he pulled it out and tested it, and I think it was something like it's supposed to stay up at a 10, or for 10 seconds, it's supposed to stay up to a certain level, and it was about half
It
that.
wasn't good.
Yeah, so that battery
needed to
was
be
dead.
replaced, yeah.
Yeah, so didn't have enough cold cranking amps if you're a mechanical type person. So fortunately, we could get a battery locally.
Yes.
There was a store there, so we got that battery replaced. And Tymeck and I started talking back and forth and remembering the history of our motorhome, because the couple that we bought it off of was older, and the last couple of years he had some health issues.
So they didn't use it as much.
Yeah, we're thinking they didn't use it as much, probably didn't really get it stored correctly or do any of the other things that you're supposed to with it, because the reason they sold this camper was they bought one that he could get into with his disabilities or whatever that he has.
Yeah.
We don't know the specifics, but
Right.
So we're thinking it's set for a while. That's why the drains were kind of clogged and a few other little things. So I thought, well, if we got to replace the main battery, let's replace the leisure batteries as well,
the
because
solar batteries.
They were not really holding a good charge or doing
We
really
just seem
well.
to be running out of power, and when you're boondocking, you want to be able to go for as long as you can, as long as your water tanks go and your cassette toilet goes. You want to be able to use those free campsites and those out in the country campsites.
Yep.
And that's what we had. That was part of our plan.
Yeah, we had 2 batteries in there for that, and we were told we could go 3 or 4 days, and we were going 1 or 2 nights, and it was
and that
dropping.
was with shutting off our inverter
Yeah,
so
at
that
night.
we didn't have our
and even
solar.
driving during the day, bringing it back up.
Yeah.
So it was definitely feeling like the batteries were the weakest link. So for our next trip, we were going to go back to Obolink again, the camping store, but this time we're not going to go down there and camp at the same place we did before.
No, because we didn't like it.
And that's going to be our next video, because that is really kind of the start of take 2 of the Europe adventure getting underway. So did we make it? Are we still going, or did we have to go back with our tail between our legs once again?
Yeah.
So to find out, you know what you got to do. Got to subscribe.
Subscribe on YouTube.
So
Give us a thumbs up.
And you can go to our website. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a blog section with our latest blog post and a place to subscribe to our blog.
Yep.
And then you can also follow us on Facebook.
The blog is more up to date than the videos.
Yep.
They take longer, and
Yep.
we're
If
trying
you
to catch up.
want an order, Facebook is going to be the most updated.
Yes.
Then the blog, and then our videos.
Yes.
So, so we'll see you next time on whether we're actually getting on adventure or not for our empty nest adventures.
TV.